Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Virginia, and I am excited to see everybody. It's been a while. I know it has been a while. So, let me start out by just reminding you of who I am if you haven't seen me in a while, and introducing myself if you've never had the pleasure of meeting me and I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you. So, I am Dr. Virginia Brickhouse Isbell. I am with Led Life Psychiatry, and our goal is to help as many people as possible live and stay depression free. Now, we do that mainly in the DMV, the DC Metro Virginia area, and we use a lot of procedural treatments like Spravato or ketamine assisted psychotherapy or TMS, which is transcranial magnetic stimulation. Now, what our main goal is, as I said, is to help people to live and stay depression free, and we can use those modalities for that. But did you know that we could also use those modalities for a lot of other things, including autism and OCD and addictions? So, if a person has a smoking difficulties or gambling or sexual behavioral concerns, TMS can be helpful for that, as well as dementia, TBI, traumatic brain injury. So, this is the month of March, and my goal is to the best of my ability, kind of drop in periodically throughout the month of March. And my goal is to basically share about the many different awareness events and historic events this month. So, first of all, it's Women's Health Awareness Month or Women's History Month as well. So, we'll be talking about some women's history throughout the month, but also it's Endometriosis Awareness Month, Multiple Sclerosis Education Awareness Month. I mean, literally, this month is like chock full. Many months out of the year are chock full, but between March, April, May, and October, it's like a smorgasbord for anyone that deals in brain health. So I already mentioned brain injury awareness, but I mentioned that for treatment with TMS. But Brain Injury Awareness Month is the month of March, as well as MS or multiple sclerosis. On a slightly different note, as it relates to organelles and organs, it is Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month and Kidney Month. So thinking about other organs or parts of the body. It's National Sleep Month, which is very interesting, as well as developmental disabilities, very near and dear to my heart. You'll see me again in April for Autism Awareness Month, and again in May for Mental Health Awareness Month. But for this month, we talk specifically about developmental disabilities. And there are two other areas that we want to be mindful of. It's Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month. It's also Down Syndrome Awareness Month. There are some special days in and around this month as well. There's some fun things about this month. It's National Craft Month, and actually will be showing you a craft that I think is mental health related, but there are some crafts that I want to talk to you about that are not mental health related at all. There's also several days in this month that we want to think about. There's World Compliment Day this month. I put on one of the advertisements. There's Let's Laugh Day in this month. So we want to be thinking about all of these things. Why am I talking about all of this in this short period of time that we have today? Well, number one, to kind of introduce these months and let you know that every single one of them either has a mental health component to it and or a lifestyle medicine component. So most people know what mental health is, and you'll learn much more in Mental Health Awareness Month. But I'm sure you already have some idea about, from your perspective, what mental health means to you and mental wealth means to you. Speaking of wealth, it's also Asset Management Awareness Month and National Credit Card Association Awareness Month as well. So we'll be talking about some fiscal responsibility and how that helps your mood, or does it help your mood, and how to move past that in this month. But going back to lifestyle awareness, what is lifestyle medicine? So, lifestyle medicine is basically using your lifestyle or components of your lifestyle to prevent or even reverse illness. So there are 6 pillars or 6 areas, which is interesting to me. It's National Nutrition Awareness Month and also National Physical Training Month. Those are 2 of the lifestyle areas, and we'll talk about lifestyle medicine as we get to those days. So nutrition awareness, that's using eating to reverse illness. So did you know that if you ate the Esselstyn diet, which is basically a whole food plant-based diet where you're not using any oils, right? That can actually be used to reverse high cholesterol. You can actually see a drop in your cholesterol, right? Makes sense if you're switching to plants, which don't make cholesterol that the human body is going to translate into an LDL cholesterol, or the bad cholesterol, the one that kind of drops things along the way. Or if you are increasing your fiber, you're increasing omega-3 fatty acids and some omega-6 fatty acids, all of those things that as you might imagine, would reduce your cholesterol, right? So you could see a reversal of hypercholesterolemia or high triglyceridemia. Those are both forms of cholesterol that you don't want, right? Because we want nice, healthy arteries and veins, and you don't want little globs of cholesterol floating around doing all kinds of things. You don't want to necessarily have procedures like a stent or a bypass, God forbid. So we'll talk about that when we talk about nutrition. It's actual National Flower Month as well, so we might dabble into that as well. And what about National Physical Training? So did you know that you need about 150 minutes of exercise, according to the American Heart Association, as well as multiple studies in a day, in a week, in a 7-day period, you want that. So in a day, that might mean that you're working out 20 minutes a day, 7 days a week, or 30 minutes a day, 33 really, but about 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week of vigorous or moderate intensity exercise. And if you go even higher and do more vigorous exercise, you only need about 75 minutes a week for that. And there are ways to get that with basic things from walking all the way up to your HIIT exercises or your high intensity interval training exercises. Now, as we're talking about all these different days all throughout this month, I want you to think about one, not 10, not 15, not 20, but one thing that you can do every single day to help your heart, to help your organs, to help promote your history, remember your legacy, continue to live long so that you can continue to build a legacy. One thing. I'm going to repeat that as we finish talking about the lifestyle medicine, but just one thing, just one thing. And every month, if you add a new one thing, can you imagine where you'll be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, a decade from now? How awesome. So in thinking about the other parts of lifestyle medicine, sleep. Remember, we talked about sleep awareness. That is incredibly important, and that's one of the lifestyle parameters. Connectedness or relationships, that's one of them. Substance moderation. And sometimes people think substances just as things like tobacco or alcohol or opioids or other things. But guess what? Food can be a substance. So in talking about the nutrition, of course you make your base goals for the month, but what if you're really struggling with sweets and you really need to just kind of give up on sugar, right? That no sugar might be, or nothing that's not a natural sugar might be your substance optimization goal. And then your nutrition, having a whole food plant-based, because you got to eat something, right? That's your overall nutrition-based goal. Okay. So we've got nutrition, we've got physical activity or exercise, we've got substances, we've got relationships, we've talked about sleep. And there's always a sixth one that I have to remember, guys. I'm kind of going off by memory here. So super excited that I finally followed Dr. Amir's footsteps and became board certified in lifestyle medicine. So always, always very excited and humbled to think about all the things that we do, chasing health and chasing wealth, whether it's mental health and wealth or whether it's physical health and wealth. And then we don't think about the very basic things like what are you putting in your mouth? What's your healthful intake? What are the things that you're doing to make yourself better so that you're available for those in and out of your life? Just to make sure that things are the way that they are and they're continuing to get better and better every single day, right? That you're not staying stagnant, that you're constantly growing, and that you're constantly making yourself available for those that, again, you want to be involved in their day-to-day life, but you also want to leave a legacy. It's wonderful to talk about history. I love the idea of Women's History Month this month and gleaning into and leading into the wonderful things that people have contributed to in the past. But there's a reason we talk about history. We learn from the past so that we can reach forward to the future and, again, create a legacy for the people that are going to be studying us one day. How super cool is that? All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm glad to see you today. And my sincere hope is that you will join us in future days. Now, I would probably be untruthful if I were to say every day, Monday through Friday, I'm going to come in about noonish and share some information. Okay. Now, that might be the goal, but I cannot promise that that's going to happen every day because I run a business, I have a family, and I have a life that extends outside of social media. So my sincere goal is to come in live as many days as I possibly can and as close to the noon time as I can. But I did on LinkedIn put down this event from today all the way through March the 31st. So I'm going to come in when I can, and I will share when I'm about to come in live. And that way, if people have questions, then please post your comments and your questions, and I'll come back to it. If you have a comment or question that I don't get to during the live time, no worries. Still post it, and then a member of my team will see it. And then I can come back one day and maybe just go into comments, or I might add an answer to a comment to one of the days that I'm already talking about. So if you ask me about nut allergies for Peanut Butter Lovers Day, and what other nuts that you can take to get some wonderful, healthy nutrients from besides peanuts, I might be able to share that in a comment or a reply to a comment that particular day. I might share the reply in a different day. Okay. But you stick with me, I'll stick with you. And I hope you have a very blessed day on purpose. Please share this with someone if you think that it's going to be helpful for them. Definitely like the post, because I know I'm streaming to a variety of different places today, including Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And I know, depending on the algorithm, if you like, if you subscribe, if you share, if you comment, all of those things will bless the algorithm to keep blessing you with more content from myself and others that share a similar message. But then it will also share that information with others. So please feel free to do all those things that I just mentioned. And again, I hope you have a very blessed day on purpose. Take care.